Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the after show, Echoes of the Episode, for episode 6 of Echoes of the Undying. Still noodling around with the name for the episode, but I know it's going to have something to do once again with the legend of Kashkash and the city of Kash. Big shout out to Kat Valente. Uh, Thank you for these lovely ideas. Please don't sue me. Um, Anyone who has not read Kat Valente's The Orphan's Tales, please do so. They're awesome. Um, and you'll get to know more about Koshkosh and the city of Kosh. But for now, we're going to go and do our stars and wishes, maybe toss a couple of ideas around, and then get out of here. So we will start, I think we'll start this time with Ray.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, so I'm gonna say star to Matt for um taking in the information that he took in and its relevance to his character. That was really well done. I think we're all like really working well within our characters. What I'm gonna do an overall thing. What I'm liking seeing and in myself included is just a better cohesion with the group.
Yep.
So we've gotten to the point where we're like comfortable with our characters, and some are working well better than others. But I can't. I still have the vision of whenever the superheroes and like we were all there, man, and we had it. And so it's like
Yep.
I'm wanting to get back to that. And it's kind of difficult, like the whole thing with being snarky with Harewood.
Yep.
And that was just sort of a reaction, was like, hey, that's what happens as a result, and just not having, being able to understand, like having a connection with each of the characters and having that special thing between each of the two. Um, Everybody's doing a great job. The layout and the scenery is nice and set up, and so yeah, general star for just everybody and everything. Um, and then uh like no glaring wishes. Um, Although I will say, so like whenever I do have a wish for understanding where there's an opportunity for narrating. So for example, with Finbaz and the table, and I rolled the made the the no multiple solutions and
Yep.
everything, and you described what happened with the gadget and Tick's reaction, wanting to know when like you can let the characters take that and come up with that. But some of it is setting up, right? So like I get it, and it worked and I liked it. Okay. So it's just some of that like give and take.
Yeah. And a lot of that was me, and I do apologize for that. I absolutely should have said, do you want to narrate what happens?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but
Good.
it's all good. It
Yeah.
is totally good.
As far as other opportunities for narration, um, I mean, remember that we do have the player intrusion mechanic, uh, and basically, I mean, obviously, I as the GM am the final arbiter of whether that's reasonable. Um, but yeah, if at some point you see something that would be cool, um, and you want to do a player intrusion, yeah, just stop and pitch it to me. Um, I have in previous games where I was a player, I have actually used a player intrusion to describe something bad that happened to my character because I just thought it was cool for the story.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, I am more than happy to make this uh, a you know a very rich and two-way or six-way conversation, because that's how we get the best story.
Hmm.
But thank you for calling me on that. I will try to be more mindful of that in the future. If anyone sees me do that, and you wanted to narrate it, just say, hey, I'd like to do this.
Hmm.
Uh, cool. Let's go to Julie next.
I'm really enjoying the world building, just getting a really good, sense of where we are and just like the whole thing with the coffin, and this conjurement and stuff, and just kind of evoking, kind of like the different senses that our characters would be experiencing. Um, 'Cause I always enjoy that sort of, that sort of stuff that makes me happy. I was just right. I was just loving, Tick's, whole complete change in demeanor once we got him all caffeined up, and yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do that again. We need him to focus. At least now we know, and yes, she will, Serafina will be picking up all the things to be able to make it on the road and stuff. So that we will have that as at our disposal, both for medicinal purposes and just enjoyment.
Now, I will point out that Amzu has been in this business for a while. It's going to take you a bit to,
Oh,
come even close to his recipe.
oh yeah,
But
yeah. But you know, the Tick isn't the only one who likes to experiment.
yep,
So, um, my math teacher probably will not be entirely happy when she finds out that I'm using my fire magic to try to, make drinks. But hey,
hey,
Yeah,
I
in
dream small.
service of the common
Yep.
good there.
exactly. Um, yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean, you can. I love how you're able to. Said like both of you and I like are able to actually like do the voices and stuff, and it's very cool. I mean, I just is that I got through, like acting and all those performance classes in my theater degree. Basically they took the professors basically took pity on the design students. That's just
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
not yeah. And they said not my thing. But if
Okay.
you want me to, when my hands are actually working correctly, want me to actually like sketch up the characters and the costumes, I might actually be able to do that. But I have my hands need to be
Yep.
completely and utterly unfucked at this point
Yeah.
because I'm yeah
No, I would absolutely love uh, character art. Um, anyone out there listening to this, uh, we have no budget, but if you would like to, make us some fan art, we will absolutely, uh, you know, use it and, give you thanks and pointers. And when we get our big sponsorship deal, we'll cut you in or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or just pay you in cat pictures.
There you go. Yep.
speaking of which, oh, is that face.
All right. So, well, Nat, you bring the cat on screen, you bring attention to yourself, you go next.
Well, she kind of brought attention to herself, as she's wont to do.
Yep.
Um, and now is completely blocking the screen
Yep.
for me. Um, so yeah, I mean, we're definitely stars to Trevor for keeping the plot train moving, and improvising on his feet when he realized he didn't have, you know, a list of names to pull out of his hat, um, which honestly, I think every GM has been caught flat-footed that way at
Yeah,
least once in their career. Everybody's like Ray mentioned, everybody's clicking with their characters. I think the group coming together cohesively is going to take a little time. I don't think that was a natural thing um, for the powers that be for a few episodes. I think it took a while for everybody to get comfortable with their character, for those interactions to sort of come
Yeah.
organically. Um, Another shout out to Ray for you know the the before and after medicated or caffeinated taquitos. That was fabulous. And as far as wishes, hopefully everybody's life remains stable and we can do this with a bit more
Yep.
frequency than we've we've been able to. Um, oh, and just one last thing, Julie, if you do the voice thing, pick something that's not going to shred your voice by the end of the episode. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe since I kind of based her name and like the and like the name of the city and a little bit of it on Italian. I don't know.
okay,
Yep.
I mean,
Maybe I might see if maybe the Duolingo lessons I've been doing for the last few years might actually kick in and
what you don't want to sound like your sister-in-law or whoever. Anyway, sorry, I'll move on. Um, I think that's it for me tonight.
Okay. Let's go down to Patrick.
Right. So for stars, ooh, yeah, this was a really good episode. I love this sort of stuff where there's just a lot of character building and whatnot going on. So it was interesting seeing Zahar um, taking more of an interest in the well-being of the group overall. That she's, really starting to, I think, view everybody in the party as part of the team, whether or not she inherently likes them, which I find a great part of her characters. I think she openly like especially like with myself, not very trusting, doesn't like me a whole lot, but still part of the team and demonstrating usefulness and whatnot. Um, I very much enjoy the fact that Serafina shows up in town is like books. That's where I'm heading, and has a mission. I'm going to look some stuff up.
Yep.
Uh, Once again, just very very nicely following with the character path, and I'm very much as a star for the whole party that we shift into an entirely different terrain and pick up on it very quickly. I like that very much that we aren't like, oh well, what's this place going to be like, or having to lean on the GM heavily for what's the environment like. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, so we understand this kind of place. We know exactly what we're going to work with here. So that was very nicely done. For wishes, I really wish I was better at doing voices. At some point, I should look up some YouTube videos and stuff on how to do voices and see if I can figure out what Zell's voice would be because he's supposed to be, somewhere between suave and conspiratorial, and I'm sure I can find something like that and start applying that on for him. So I'll have to
Just
do.
just look up Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3 and just listen to his voice lines.
I
And
I was going to go with look at British Bond villains, but
That was where I was
yeah.
thinking
So
was you want British Bond.
yeah, start with RP. Drop your drop the tone about half an octave, and then just make everything sound like whoever's listening to you really wants to go take a shower afterwards.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's bad, but he's kind of naughty. So
And
also,
He's bad, but he's a little bit bad.
okay.
and in lines with um, Taquito's experiences today, I will propose that we call this one the cash calf caper, and say that three times fast.
Yeah, right. I'll think on it. I'll think on it. And finally, ECAT.
Oh, I'm gonna give stars to both Ray and Matt again for just really uh, digging into the character and studying them a bit more. I I do love how we have discovered the off switch for the hyperactivity. She's now kicking herself for not thinking of it sooner. Um, as for wishes, right now I don't have any just because, yeah, right now she's just happy to be home.
Or at least she was until the last minute of the episode,
Right, up until what the hell?
right?
Surprise!
Uh,
The death goddess is
yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not really what she's the goddess of death, not the goddess of murder.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's the shepherdess of souls,
Yeah.
not the
Um,
Yeah, definitely ended on a what the actual fuck,
Yes,
moment.
definitely props for that cliffhanger.
Mhm.
um, so for me, I mean, I'm just gonna echo, stars to everyone for really, really playing into the characters, uh, and yet, not necessarily just following the trope that we may have established at this point. Um, you're still, I mean, we're still in the relatively early stages, but you are actively working at growing and expanding the characters as more than just what's on your sheets, which is always great. I love that. I love to see these characters go through their arcs, maybe even multiple arcs. Who knows? Um, but I think my star for the episode is going to go to Julie because Serafina has not had, she's been there, but she hasn't had a lot of spotlight time. And I think you did a really good job of this episode of not like hogging it for the entire time, but no, it's my turn to do my thing, which is what I was trying to get at anyway. But you took that by the reins and just went with it, and that was really nice to see. Um, and I'm hoping I'm still having some trouble kind of fitting a lot of Serafina's what I have in my mind for Serafina's plot into the rest of everything, and I think that's part of why, and I do apologize for that. Um, but I want to see that keep growing. Um, and then wishes, um, again, playing this more consistently is always good because as you can see, when we get a little bit of this momentum rolling, is when we really get into that continual character growth, which I love to see. So I'm going to do a little bit of theory crafting with something that we mentioned a little bit before we started recording, and I just kind of want to get a straw poll from everyone. Uh, do you think that the priestess who is still alive is Udre or not? Matt.
I mean, from just a narrative standpoint, that makes the most sense.
Okay.
Um,
Ju-
I agree, yeah.
okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then or she's like the biggest red herring ever.
Patrick.
Yeah, no, I agree. It
Okay.
it makes the most sense that that's who she is.
ECAT.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't think she is.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see next time. Anyone have anything else they want to bandy about theory craft, anything like that before we head out?
I
Part of
already
me
sent you a
Oh yeah,
really,
message.
you did. Yep.
yeah, part of me is really curious as to what the hell we all kept missing in the with the perception skills, but
Mm-hmm.
well, we'll find out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
well, I did set up the fact that she doesn't. Serafina is planning on going back to the library the next day, so hopefully, I'll have another shot at being able to, if it's something that stationary.
Okay. All right.
I,
Well,
I have a concern that will have some impact on our payday the next morning.
I have more concern that, our contacts are going to suffer, but, you know, we'll find out. Or we'll
Yeah.
be tune in next time.
right. I'm sorry. If your quarry goes to ground, leave them no ground to go to. Uh, yep. So, all right. So, with this being all wrapped up, we're going to call this one a wrap. And thank you, everyone. Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, ECAT, for all of us. I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Good night, everyone.